Welcome to Podheim, Jiroc's Valheim podcast. Let's give him the business.
Hey everybody, today is February 21st, 2023. I'm your host, Jiroc the Viking, and joining me today are my fellow Vikings, Gwen the Shield Maiden.
Ahoy!
We also have Shield Maiden Morning Darkness.
Hello. Please excuse the baby giggles and squawks.
Aww.
And we have joining us today Viking Vaste in digital form.
Hello.
And joining us again is Viking Jules, also digital form.
Beep, beep, bloop, beep.
So, how is everyone doing today? It's been 2 weeks since we've done the podcast.
I think you
you
meant
guys.
too long.
Too long. I missed everybody. So I am going to start doing the podcast, at least for now, every 2 weeks. That could change to go up or down depending on what's going on. But it's a nice build up for news cycle, so we're not stretching for material and just talking about our lives. Nobody wants to hear all that crap, right? They just want to hear Valheim stuff.
I mean, I understand the sentiment.
Yeah. But it gives me some time to do other projects because the podcast, it does take between about 6 and 8 hours a week between the planning, the recording, and the editing and the uploading. So that's like 1 day out of the week. That's all podcast. It's spread out over a couple of days, but it's only 7 days in a week and there's lots going on. So doing the podcast every week, it takes up a lot of time. So, but for me, I have to say, I kind of hate it though, because I missed you guys.
Yeah, that's
like
exactly how I feel.
Yeah. It was also the thing I was looking forward to every Tuesday evening after, beginning of the week at work is always dreadful. It's always like, no, we still have, so much to go of the week before the weekend. But the Tuesday evening recording was like something to look forward to. And it was a bit sad not to have it last week.
Well, hopefully it makes it just a little more precious for us because we do that 2 week build up and then we get to all gush over each other in Valheim and everything and have fun with it.
There is one image that I can't wait to nitpick with Gwen.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot to talk about today. Lots of news
we'll get there, Gwen.
out.
We'll get there.
Mm-hmm. Is it maybe in relation to?
Nope.
No, not that one. Oh. Okay.
No.
Yeah. So doing the podcast every 2 weeks has given me a little bit more time to work on other projects. And I've been doing a lot of things, including, you probably don't notice, but my angle here has changed slightly. It's a little wider. It's looking down a little bit more. You can see my microphone now because I really can't get it out of the frame with the current shot.
Oh, yes.
Unless I go with a more zoomed in lens. But, I did a huge early spring cleaning in my office and just cleaned a whole bunch of stuff out. It's a huge pile of stuff. And I'm going to do it to the whole house, which I've been meaning to do. It's been driving me nuts. And so that's partially what not doing the podcast every week is giving me a little bit of time to do, like take care of stuff in real life too. Morning, can you give everybody a quick preview of some of the news that's going to be coming up later?
Yes. So what is coming up in the podcast? Things to look forward to. We will be discussing the new build snap points. New Ashlands monster that they announced after they announced some other stuff. New difficulty settings, stack all option. Oh, the joy of that. Spock's release date and more.
Yeah, that stack all option really caught my attention when I saw it. I went, finally! But we'll talk about that. But before we do, hear that we're going to talk a little bit about some merch. I got some new merch. Morning Darkness has some new merch. Morning. let's
Yeah.
see what it is you've got here.
Mine first? Wait, no, we were
Yes.
doing yours first. Yours is on the list first.
I do what I want.
It's my podcast.
Here we go.
Yeah, so this is honestly because of Smithy. He was demanding a cup. So this is art done by Gwen's sister, actually.
That is a
and,
beautiful picture, by the way.
This is my avatar for when I need to go into battle. I take the banded iron shield wheel off of my wheelchair and arm myself, hop onto my dog who grows 6 times her size, and we ride into battle.
For just the listeners, do you want to describe it to them, Morning?
Yeah, so this is my character avatar that Gwen's sister made. It's the root armor pants, the leather armor shirt, the deer hide shirt, a green and white banded iron shield, which you can't actually get in Valheim, but like I love green.
It looks so cool. Now I want one.
I know, right?
In game.
And I'm wearing the green linen cape, so I had to have, the color themes match a little bit. And then I'm holding up an artistic version of the silver sword. And then I'm on the back of a Belgian Malinois German Shepherd mix. So she's all tan with a dark nose and the big German Shepherd ears, and which totally look like fooling ears when she's concerned. They flatten off to the sides. It's kind of cute. But yeah, so that's sort of the concept. Since I'm in a wheelchair, the concept is if I had to ride into battle, I'd need a mount.
That's cool. Is this dog illustration based on your doggy in real life?
Yeah. That's my big girl.
Wow, Gwen, your sister really captured a great expression for both the dog and for Morning
Yes.
on there. That's great.
So powerful, like
Yeah.
proper shield maiden.
And the
Warrior
title
face.
is Mom Cup because there's a 15-ounce version. And when you need that extra volume to charge into battle is why it's called a Mom Cup.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, and you've priced it really reasonable. I'd say at some point you might want to raise that price because that's cool. But yeah, it's a nice collectible item.
I mean, that's the price they recommend. I think I get like $5 from the cup sale. I think it's yeah, it's
more just for fun.
Yeah.
Like with all my merch, like I don't expect to make my retirement money on my merch. It's just for fun.
But I released it a week ago and someone in Australia got his cup yesterday and sent me a picture. He's like, this is my new favorite mug. It's large and it's exciting. And so that was fun. It was very fun to have someone be like, yeah, no, the shipping was quick and it's high quality. And he's like, I'll let you know once I wash it in the dishwasher. I was like, all right, cool.
I'm definitely getting 2, one for me and one for my sister because she'll be so happy to see it printed on something.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
very cool. Thanks.
Very nice. Looks like the colors are really pop too on this.
Yeah.
White mug.
Yeah, it was tough finding a company that would print all the colors and have the larger mug option.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Which company did you end up going with?
Fourth Wall.
All right, it's here in the URL.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'll have to look at them.
They have European shipping centers, so Europeans don't have to spend that extra money on getting it shipped out there. They've got like local printing companies in different places. So that was one of the reasons why I went with them.
Nice.
Europeans appreciate and approve. Well, I say that actually. I'm not technically in Europe anymore. So
no.
Yeah, but it's fine. I'll ship them. You know what? I'll actually, if it's cheaper, I'll ship them to my sister and then I'll pick it up next time I see her.
Very cool. That's the doing the merch is fun, especially when you have an artist who can generate some really cool images for you. Then it starts to get exciting because not only would you want to share with your fans if they're interested, but like I want the art that my artist has made for me too. So that's why I got a bunch of this stuff, including like that giant desk mat, which I'm looking at here right in front of me all the time.
I need to add that. Oh, I need to remember to add that to my my birthday wish list. Thank you for reminding me, Jiroc.
Yeah. Well,
So what's your new merch?
Yeah, I added a couple of things.
I saw this. Does business need giving?
And I turned his eyebrow up just a little bit because it's
I see that.
Just like, it's a little more like, oh yeah, does business need giving? Because I'm here to give it. So I thought it was fun because I didn't actually. This is the original avatar that my comic book artist friend made for me. And then I've mostly been using give him the business logo because it's very action oriented. But I didn't have a good design with this. But since this giving the business started to become a thing, I found a way to do this. So originally I used this long back. If you look at, I think it's my all mob weaknesses videos, which is going to probably be hitting 1 million here in a month or so.
Nice.
It has at the very end, I think it has a merch and announcement, and it's this avatar, but it just says Viking life next to it. It's very boring. I didn't have any, I didn't know what to do with it back then. I didn't have a saying or a theme to go with. So I was just like, Viking life, and there's the picture. But so I did that with it. Does the business need giving? And then, so I've been playing with AI art a lot, and you might see a lot more things come, maybe even a YouTube channel, a Jiroc AI artist channel. Because I've been an artist since 98 when I went to art school, became a filmmaker, but I studied all the arts and have been doing all kinds of different things in art for a long time. So messing with AI art is really interesting. I get to try to get it to make the thing that I see in my mind, without me having to spend hundreds of hours trying to create it. But I came up with 3 images after I've been spending way too much time, by the way. Remember that time where I said I wasn't doing the podcast? I've been spending way too much time playing with AI art, but I did come up with 3 images that I really liked. So I made some merch out of them. And this first one right here is, I call the Crimson Viking, although Gwen would probably say Vikings didn't have all that armor.
Armor on a
it's probably more like the Crimson Warrior or the Crimson Knight. But this is after hundreds of queries of trying to get it to produce something kind of Viking or warrior oriented with red hair, of course, to remind me of my younger years.
Is that you in your 30s?
Yes.
I wondered.
Yeah.
It's really cool, though. I love the aquarelle watercolor style painting, coloring.
Yeah, I found some good cues to give it to, words to, phrase the creation after trying a bunch of different things to create this watercolor. And so I use that to create a bunch of different images. But also this, I put this on a jigsaw puzzle.
Oh,
my wife loves puzzles. She's probably got 20 or 30 of them and gives them away as stuff.
Cool.
There's this pennant. Let's see what else do they have. They have a little sticker. They have a poster. And one of my favorites is you can make that giant mouse mat out of it. It looks so cool, I thought. Now I'm going to have to get a couple of those and switch out my mouse pad every month.
Oh.
And the canvas print is my favorite because it's raised 1 inch from the wall, and it comes out, sticks out, and it's got the canvas texture. So, but it also got this little notebook, which I have notebooks I use. I keep a notebook on my desk all the time because I got to write ideas down for videos or my to-do list. And you can use the computer, but when you got something, you just want to, I don't know, man, I'm old school that way. I just want to have something to write on when I have an idea. So yeah, this is a lot of hours. So
is this Jiroc in his younger days?
Yeah, Jules was pointing it out. That's me.
Yeah.
That's me when I was in college, running around.
What did you punch in though to the AI?
It's no, I do absolutely. I have all my terms, but to get this, I use the exact same search term, but I probably looked at 200 images before it because it gives you something different every time. Right. And it was the same exact term that I put in there, but it took about 200 redo. And I was like, ooh, that one. I like that one. You see some of them are terrible. Some of them are interesting, but that one caught my eye. So really fun to play with. This might be something that I think I'm already because I started doing the AI thing. Now YouTube's algorithm has caught me and it's promoting everything AI to me. AI music, AI art, AI game design, AI text chat and storytelling. Like you can write stories you can write your resume, your cover letter, all kinds of really cool stuff. But so using the same kind of generation, I told it to make a shield maiden, a redheaded shield maiden, just like I went for the redheaded Viking, although warrior. And this is what it came up with after so many. Nice. Yeah, I don't know. After you see all the images and you're like, nope. And about 200 images later, you're like, ooh, I like that one.
The colors are really nice.
Yeah. So that one really caught my eye for the Shield Maiden. So that one is the Crimson Shield Maiden. And, looks cool in all the other products as well. But, and then my favorite is the Crimson Cowboy.
Oh no!
This is Jiroc when he was a young cowboy.
Oh no!
And my shield maiden, my wife, she came into the room and I was showing her these images. When I showed her this was her favorite also.
Nice.
So here's the Crimson Cowboy. Boom.
Nice. It looks like Red Dead Redemption.
Doesn't it? Really does. Redhead Redemption.
Redhead Redemption.
It's a play on it.
Amazing.
Instead of Red Dead Redemption.
Amazing.
Yeah, so that one will probably be on my wall here soon because I'm ordering this one for absolutely sure. Especially what's amazing is after you see so many generations of different things, you're just like, no, that's okay. That's neat. And then one out of like a couple of hundred finally catch your eye. And so, man, this AI art is a whole amazing thing.
It's nice to feel like you can, make stuff that like when you're desperate for art and you're trying to come up with ideas to like show what you're trying to express, to have something at your fingertips that you can quickly put together is a really, really nice thing. Especially like with my husband and I, we're doing a lot of stuff with Dungeons and Dragons, and we're putting together a mega dungeon game. So having art that we can just show people like, hey, here's the volcano with the monastery below, and you're gonna find a lava beast inside, and it's real nice to be able to generate these images that you can either use to come up with colorful language to describe, or just to show as aids to help aid in other people's imagination and visualization of the thing. So it's a really cool tool.
Yeah, the idea generator is probably even better than doing like the final art, because sometimes I have some ideas, but I'm not quite sure. So I start putting in terms and it generates things. And then I go, oh, that. Same thing with the text chat. Like I have ideas. Like I actually asked an AI chatbot, I need titles for an oil painting for a redheaded cowboy.
So wait, Jiroc. You asked the AI to generate ideas for you to ask the AI for generating pictures.
Yes.
Right about right.
Yeah, ask what AI, what should I tell the other AI to get what I want?
Should have asked the other AI to just communicate with the other AI.
Hey, can you guys talk and get back to me? I'm really busy right now. I'm available Tuesday. Can you two get together?
Wow, brave new world.
It's pretty awesome. But okay, so enough about AI. I'm actually maybe even trying to do some, I want to see what it'll do for Valheim. If I can come up with any fun images for Valheim. It's already written a Valheim rap song, which I might do someday. A Valheim country song. Like all these things I've gotten it to write for me. And I'm like, wow, I can't believe that you came up with that, because that would have taken me forever to write. But let's see what else we got. What's that, Jules?
Do do it as long the copyright isn't clear on that stuff. Maybe it's not available for long.
Yeah, exactly. If you love all things Viking, just like I do, check out my sponsor, the Grimfrost. They have thousands of modern and historical Viking products. Check out this badass outfit I put together for Halloween and my online streams. You can use my link, jiroctheviking.com/Grimfrost. So a couple of other announcements. Our vanilla servers are going pretty well. The Viking Playground, actually, are my main server, which has been running for almost a year and a half now. It just got updated with full Mistlands content. So everybody
I can't wait to log in.
Yeah, everybody who is like to the vanilla mode stuff and wants to log back into our original server, which still people are playing there, but they're on the other server, which is the new permanent server, because the Mistlands were brand new there. Well, we used mods to update just yesterday. One of my admins did that for the old legacy server, the playground server. So yeah, hundreds of builds, and now you can get full Mistlands experience there as well.
It's a bit sad that the old cobwebs are gone.
Well, so we were able to keep all of our old cobwebs and old Mistlands from the original Mistlands, because the mod that we Yerde, the modder, he added a function where we could create an exceptions list. And we added the old swamp tree from the Mistlands, the old Mistlands tree, to the exceptions list. So those areas that had been rendered with the old Mistlands are still the old Mistlands, and just all the other areas that got turned blank because they had never been explored. Those are the ones that are updated with the new content. So, and you've got all the dungeons and the queen dungeons and everything there. So exciting stuff for those that want to get out there and experience that. And then our Jotun Quest, which is my modded server, has been running great. We haven't had a crash in weeks now. We were having multiple crashes a day back, when Mistlands first came out. But we've got that running really smoothly now, and I've been playing on it, but I'll talk about that more later. And I have a new server up that's not Valheim related. It's a 7 Days to Die server. It's not quite ready for prime time though, because I need to configure a mod for it. But I'm thinking about this is an option for people who either aren't that much into Valheim or need to take a break from Valheim. And what happens is we have players who take a break from Valheim and they go play other games, but then they come back eventually, some of them, and they kind of go back and forth. Well, I'm thinking about having some other servers available for them to go and play other games if they want, so that they're still in our environment. Because I love, communicating and seeing these people around. Because you can sit in Discord and you play one game and somebody else play another game if you want, if you're taking a break. But so I have a 7 Days to Die server. I might be opening a Minecraft server, an Empyrean Galactic Survival server.
Jiroc to Rust.
No way, no Rust. Rust is too toxic an environment for my community. I think.
But we are not toxic. Our community is nice.
Yeah, lots of PvP. Yeah, then everybody will be fighting.
Yeah,
no thanks.
We turn toxic.
Once we were friends, now you're my enemy. And at some point, Arc 2 is going to be coming out. I think this is going to be one of the next big survival games in the whole world of survival games. I only played the original Arc a little bit and never felt a couple hundred hours. I will probably not open a server for Arc 1, but Arc 2, I will probably almost definitely do and I'm like 99% sure I'll do an Arc 2 server. Because it's going to be huge, and
Jiroc,
we're going to lose a lot of players to it for a little while. You can always come back to Valheim.
Have you heard about the Lord of the Rings Return to Moria crafting survival game?
Yeah, I'm kind of. I need to look into it more. And I don't know when the release date is. Did you see a release date for it? Is it this year, next year?
This year, spring.
Oh, so maybe right around the corner.
So soon, yeah, I think. I mean, they haven't really made any official updates lately. I did reach out to them just to be like, hey, I'm a streamer. Do you have any streamer packages? I haven't heard back yet, though. So I don't know what that means. But I am very excited about that game. It looks so pretty. So pretty.
Well, I just added it to my list of potential servers to open. So we'll see. It depends on the popularity and really just how good the game is, I guess, sort of in my opinion. Is it something I want to focus on?
Yeah.
Like I was looking at Grounded as a potential server, and that game is fun. It's where you play like you've been miniaturized and you're running around in amongst grass and bugs in somebody's in a backyard. It's pretty cool, but it's not very intuitive. It's a little more complicated than it should be, I think. Especially when I've played, compared to games like Valheim and Minecraft that have really fine-tuned the simplicity and the intuitiveness, but. Yeah, so I'll look at the Lord of the Rings one too. Let's see, new videos posted or upcoming. Gwen, what have you done and what is upcoming for you?
So I have released, when was it? A bit over a week ago, a video where so if you remember, let's rewind. A month ago, the Valheim dev blog for January announced something that got me really, really excited, which is obviously all the new clothing, the casual clothing that they will be releasing in Valheim. And of course, being a big fan of historical costuming and being a reenactor and just all-round history nerd, I just felt compelled to take that news and make its own video about it. And it kind of turned, initially it was kind of, I'm reviewing those items and reviewing them for historical accuracy. So, comparing it with real Viking clothes from history. And I also kind of, throughout the video, display with clothes that I made myself what Vikings would have worn. And I kind of talk through all the different elements in about 15 minutes. And that is probably the video I'm most proud of that I've posted so far, because it was a ton of work. It took me a whole month, essentially, like three to 4 weeks to make. It's a very different style of video than what I have done so far on my channel. So far, it's only been very Valheim focused and mostly kind of gameplay or stuff like that. I have done like a couple of Valheim news updates, but not really in this kind of format. And here I'm actually like showing stuff that I'm wearing, showing like things that I own and so on. So very different style of video. And yeah, I really enjoyed making it. And it was something that I had actually wanted to do for a while on my channel. Like the whole Gwen the Shield Maiden branding was never meant to be just Valheim focused. And I always wanted to bring in my love for living history into my content. And this news really kind of gave me the perfect opportunity to do that. So I jumped on the opportunity and slowly made that video. And it's been out for about a week now. And I plan to make more content like that, because I feel like there's loads of great Valheim content creators out there. There's lots of streamers, there's lots of great builders, people who cover news really well, like Jiroc, and et cetera. But there's so far not been anyone who covered kind of Valheim, but also from that historical angle. And it's something that I'm really passionate about. So I'm going to hopefully do more of those kind of videos in the future.
Yep, I just put up a quick preview of the video.
It's so much fun. I enjoyed the heck out of that video.
I'm glad you did. I was wondering how, because I know you're into historical costuming too, so I wondered what you thought about it. But it was really fun.
I thought it was delightful, and also I loved the different things that you brought in. I loved that you referenced other people, and really, honestly, my favorite part of the video, as much as I loved the content and everything, was the bloopers reel. That was so much fun. I was like, I have to do that in every video that I ever edit. I just have to. I have to steal inspiration from you, because that was so good. So good.
Yeah, bloopers are fun because you're trying to put something together, and when you're recording yourself, you always mess up and have to redo stuff. And sharing those little things are fun. But this video, Gwen, is so well thought through. It's great information. It's entertaining. But then I love that you actually go outdoors. So instead of just sitting in front of the computer and talking about it and cutting away to clips,
Yes.
like here, I'm showing, your video playing here in the screen for those just listening. But she goes out into the forest and puts on clothes and shows you what it looks like. While she's talking about it. And then there's just a lot of interesting historical stuff. So I I was learning stuff and I was entertained. It was awesome.
Thank you.
I hope to see more of these.
Yeah, I definitely, I have a very long list. To be honest, I had this list of videos that I wanted to do for a very long time. I just never, I don't know, I never either had the time or had like the right kind of, I don't know, momentum to do it. So this one around clothing, I just couldn't pass the opportunity. And I so happened to have kind of enough Viking kit that I could make it that like that. So I'm really excited to do more. I'm definitely planning on doing one around hats, because we'll probably talk about that in the news section. But we have some news related to hats, and I'm thinking of even actually doing like a tutorial of how to make your own Viking hat. How to make the Valheim version or the historical version, I'm not sure yet.
Nice.
I don't know if people would prefer. I might end up doing both, because hats are fairly easy to make, even though I haven't made one yet, but they look pretty easy. So that, and then because I'm part of a reenactment group, and so I'm so luckily surrounded by great crafters and great history nerds, I will probably do one that is reviewing the weapons in the game from a historical standpoint, and that one will be a fun one because because there's so much to talk about, and I know a lot of people are interested in weapons and so on. And we so happen, because we are the reenactment group that I'm part of is covering 12th century England, so it's more like Norman period. So basically, the people who casted the Danes away out of England. So a bit, 2 centuries out from the Viking era, but the weapons and so on haven't changed all that much. So we'll be actually able to show a lot of the weapons and stuff. So I'm planning of doing that. I really, on my list of things to do, I need to make myself a kite shield. So I might also make a video about the process of actually making a real shield. And I already, as you can see at the back here, but I have it here too. I already have a round shield. I haven't painted it yet. But this one I bought, but I really want to make my own round shield at some point too.
Me too.
So we'll probably do a video about that.
We should talk, because I want to make one too. You just got to buy the metal part, right? And then you can make the rest.
The boss, yeah. I mean, this one, most of them that we use for reenactment, they're just like plywood. They're really easy to make. And then you need to get leather or rawhide, but leather is much easier to work with for the rim. And then that boss, and then the rest is just kind of assembling it. So I want to make a round shield, but one of my friends is planning on, he has made a couple of shields, and he's part of our society's guild of shield wraiths. So there's like a whole kind of crafting and gilding system where people actually learn the crafts properly and based on history and research and so on. And he wants to submit a masterpiece, which is basically the thing that will get you to the master grade within the guild. And he wants to make a round shield based on historical methods. So it would be planked, and it would be with rawhide canvas at the front, and like lots of quite complicated things. And I'm like, if you are going to go through the trouble, let me film it and make a video about it, because this would be legitimately how shields would have been made in the Viking Age, and that would be quite cool. So,
Nice.
I would recommend just going with the plywood version if it's your first shield. That is, that's good enough.
Nice. Hopefully we see more of those great videos of yours. I know they take a lot to produce, but one a month. I'm excited. Every once in a while, that would be.
Yeah, I'm excited about that, because it's really kind of the direction I wanted to take anyway. And because I mean, the thing is with Valheim, I don't have any particular skills other than maybe decorating tables, and that's about it. Like, I'm not a particularly good I'm not good at like all the challenges. I'm not a speedrunner. I'm not a great builder. So, I'd rather focus on some of the other stuff that I can bring in that would be slightly different. But yeah, so I'm not sure which of those ideas I'm going to do for the next video, but that's a plan. And also, I wanted to say I carry on streaming every Thursday. I'm going to have to skip next week because I'm traveling next week. But this Thursday, which is the day after the day before the podcast is released, I think.
Yes.
So by the time you hear this, the stream has already happened. But I will be streaming kind of part 2 of adventures, or streaming with my sister, or more like I force my sister to play Valheim with me.
You should change that to your title. I force my sister to play Valheim with me. Yes. That's funny.
That was literally the first stream. So the first stream we did together was over Christmas when she was visiting, and we were literally like in the same room and playing together. And we got absolutely. We got our asses handed to us basically on the bone mass fight. So basically she's never gone through like the normal full progression of the game, and she's not gone through all the bosses. So we're like, oh, cool, let's do that. So went on my solo world, did the first 2 bosses, then went really ill-equipped to the bone mass fight with no blunt weapons, only like axes or something ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And we completely got destroyed, and we had to basically... We both died, and we were like, okay, let's not bother. Let's call it quits. At that point, we had to stream for a couple of hours. So
you're like, we're hungry. We're gonna go eat.
yeah, pretty much, because it was New Year's Eve. It was New Year's Eve, and we had like a lovely chicken roast waiting for us. So we're like, yeah, no, let's call it quits. So we're gonna take our revenge on Bone Mass this Thursday, and I haven't found Moda on my solo world, so that will be quite interesting as well. We might end up sailing for hours.
Fun.
Yeah.
Get lots of serpent meat.
And if you need a new gaming PC or laptop, check out Zydax Computers. I own one and I absolutely love it. And they offer a lifetime desktop parts and labor warranty. Can't get better than that. Just use my link, jiroctheviking.com/Zydax. Well, I know Jules is excited. He was a little sad when he texted me. He said, I was just informed that I'm not streaming on Thursday because he normally streams with you. So he's like, I'm available if you need me, Jiroc.
Yes. But you made time for Jiroc now, so I can help him with the exciting projects. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say what you're cooking.
Yeah, we got to wait till we get them ready to release before we can announce them.
Top secret projects.
But Morning, what have you been doing over there on Twitch?
Oh gosh, so many things. Let's see. I've been doing playing a lot of fun, running around with my husband. We're finally getting to do our final build, and it's coming out really cool looking. I'm getting to build a side tower. And then I've actually started a new build that's actually probably one of the more daunting things I've ever tackled, and that's building a canal in the swamps. Oh. And you have to find a pathway through the swamps that you can dig wide enough for a longship to navigate through among all of the permanent structures. And I don't know if you've ever thought about it.
But why? Morning Darkness. Why?
Because it's something to do.
You pick the one that has mobs in the water. What?
Actually, it's interesting when you're digging a canal, the leeches have a spawn area. So none of the leeches have spawned inside my canal so far, except once in one section where the water was originally already deep. So it's actually not that bad. And if I spawn proof the area, then it'll be fine. So the reason why is there is a beautiful, you know how I love to build on the stone circles. So I've built my now standard build on a stone circle.
A treehouse?
No, stone circles. Anyway. It's a circular build. It's got, beautiful open window sections, and you can put down portals for a portal hub. I've got the central pillar area as storage, and it's very utilitarian. It's for a community play that I'm in, but it's not on waterfront. Normally, I reserve a build on these for waterfront, but I'm on this team that's only allowed to build in the northeast quadrant of the world. There are 4 teams. It's a lot of fun. A lot of streamers are on this world. And so our resources are limited. So this was the only stone circle that was even close. And, I was like, okay, well, it's close to iron, so we'll make sure that it's a fully upgraded base, blah, blah, blah. But I really want that like waterfront access to go to the main storage. So I'm building this canal to be able to sail up to the storage hut that I've built. So I'm building this ridiculously large canal, and there's some spots that I have to go back and fix the walls because it's a little too tight, and I need to give some butt wiggle room for the boat to swing around in. But I finally was able to finish digging it out to appropriate depth, and I feel like a drowned rat half the time I'm doing this. But it's wild because it's real fun when the wraiths come up and say boo while you're half drowning trying to dig and Anyway, but yeah, it's probably one of the more daunting projects I've ever done, and I just have the basic outline of the canal, but it is finely dug. So I've been doing that video. And then also another big thing that I did in the last couple weeks, we celebrated 2 years of Valheim. 2 weeks ago, Jiroc.
Really?
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah. No, I didn't forget.
Yeah, it came out in February of 2021. First
week of February. So, I helped be a part of a community birthday cake building and decorating for Valheim to celebrate 2 years. So
nice.
I
remember your build from last year.
Yeah,
yeah. 1 year, that giant cake. Yeah.
Yeah, I did that one by myself, and you helped me decorate the table. So, yeah, not quite by myself. Co-conspired with Gwen the Shield Maiden. But this one is a lot of the Valheim Twitch community coming on, getting to build something, getting to decorate a facade. So that was a lot of fun. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of stuff, and I even skipped a few days because I was on vacation.
Ooh.
Nice. Well,
and I had an injury.
Yeah. Is that the finger plaster that you have? What happened there?
Do you really want to hear about it, YouTubers?
I'm a bit.
Maybe save that for your Twitch stream for the really curious.
No, it's really dumb. I cut my finger on a key ring that had gotten slightly warped and was sticking up. It's like this thick, stiff, wide chunk of metal that somehow sliced really deeply into my finger, and it took me 10 minutes to get it under control.
Ow.
So I can't press D very easily right now, so playing the game sucks.
So moving to the right is tough.
That's the
yeah.
I love that. First reaction, like as it's a gamer with an injury when they're like, "Oh no, my finger! I can't hit the keyboard anymore now.
I can't press E. I can't press D.
That's funny. Well, yeah. Let's see. What have I been doing? I've been playing a lot over on Jotunquest, my modded server, and I've kind of turned it into Farmheim. Because it's got a bunch of new animals from different mods. And so I have this whole army of capybaras. These 2-star capybaras.
Ridiculous to have capybaras in a Valheim world. What the heck?
They're so cute. And then they lay down and they kind of snore when they sleep. Oh, it's adorable.
Yeah. Just from a continent that was, never in touch. Anyway.
Imported. They're imported.
Yeah. Don't ask question. It's a game.
It's a fantasy world, Valheim. But then there's a whole bunch. So I built a whole barn for them, and I haven't been streaming a lot. I think I streamed once or twice, but when I stream, I gotta put the glasses on and the hat, and I can't see my screen as well.
You decided
the screen's
to do
dark. I know. In hindsight, it's like I started this now. When am I gonna break the sunglasses wall?
It's time. Look, it's time. Come on, do it already.
Do it already. But yeah, so like everybody, like a bunch of other people on the server, not everybody, but they're going through progression, and they're already in the new Ashlands and the new Deep North content that was added with mods. But me, I'm just barely doing a little bit of Black Forest and still mostly meadows because there's so many new animals, and I intend to make a barn full of all of them. So I've got the got the capybaras down. I've already got some moose, some rabbits, which they call hares. We got rabbits in our hares in the Mistlands update, but these are cute little meadows ones. Some new deer that you can tame. Foxes, which are adorable. You can tame them. Squirrels. Oh, they're so cute. And they drop nuts if you kill them. And the nuts make really good food for meadows level food. It's amazing. So I'm constantly trying to chase them down.
Amazing.
There's a bear called a grave bear, and I've got a couple of those breeding. And I just ventured into the Black Forest and got myself a razorback boar, which is a big, scary looking boar. And a black bear, a 2-star of each of those. And I went on this long quest to bring them, boat them back to my farm last night. And it was fun. So yeah, maybe I should stream more of that. But when you're streaming, as you guys know, you're on, right? Like you're on, you're working. So a lot of these last week or two, I've just wanted to play and not be working and not be on.
You know what? Good for you. You also don't have to stream it. You could always just, record, and then any silly moments that come up, you can just, edit out later. Yeah,
that's true. If there are fun moments, like I get surprised or die or something goofy happens, I can just clip those out. Yeah, that's a potential idea. So yeah, that's what's going on over there. Lots of modded play for me. I'm loving the modded server. Just all the extra content, and it's running so well. If you want to play, go to my website right here that you see under my name, and you can sign up you can figure out how to play on my servers. It's all for my patrons. It's a perk for my patrons. But Valheim news finally, so many things to talk about. I know Jules and Vaste have just been waiting to get in here some words about the news that has come up. So let's talk about the development blog first, I think. Would be this one? Yes. So they released the development blog on the 15th, which was only 6 days ago. And they talk about some previews for new fortress or new terrain tests for the Ashlands. And we get images like this. Oh, you can't see it.
You have to swoosh.
Be gone, faces be gone.
Swoosh. There we go.
There we are.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there we go.
Wild.
You guys think this is going to be flowing lava or just hot spots? Or pools of lava?
If it's flowing lava, then they'd better give us lakes and rivers and waterfalls.
Yeah.
Or maybe at least you can step into it and sink into it like water or the tar, right?
I mean, if that happens, you're going to take a lot of fire damage.
It might be a bit hot, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder if they're going to do this, are they going to make it actually that wide? Because it's going to be real challenging to navigate if you light on fire when you step on that.
Maybe we get new ships too. Some iron ships.
Iron and lava
melt.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a terrible idea. Maybe black metal.
Maybe would be a bit hot, yes.
Oh, okay.
Black metal might survive. Maybe.
Obsidian ships.
Lots of bridges I'm seeing with this terrain.
Oh, marble.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, could be magic. magic ships, black magic marble ships. God damn it, what a tongue breaker.
For that, if they're going to give magic ships, then give us flying mounts also.
Ooh.
Yes.
Flying mounts, flying ships.
But hey, the feather cape makes a lot of sense for this. Like Fenris armor and feather cape, you should be able to jump across.
Yeah.
But if it's taking fire, it will be melt the gun very fast. Like the feathers, they burn like poof. I don't know.
Yeah, only if you touch it. If you jump over it, it might be okay.
I don't know. Might be a hot air above it.
Well,
maybe
Fenris armor gives you
Heat
protection
protection.
against heat or against fire, doesn't it?
I think one of the pieces does, if not all of them. I can't remember.
Oh yeah, Fenris does.
Exactly. So maybe the devs thought it through and added that armor and the feather cape so that it would work with the new biome too, which would make sense.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
But
So
also, I'm thinking.
what's that, Gwen?
I was just going to say about the flowing. Is the lava going to flow or not? I would think they would make it so that it's the same mechanic as the tar pits. So maybe you can drain it, but it might not be flowing like rivers.
Well,
So it might be just an object that you can drain. There's a mechanic where you can empty out the lava pit, and maybe there's flametal that you can pick up that way. Potentially, maybe you have to drain it out of the lava pits. But I doubt, because it would be like a whole new mechanic to make flowing water. And the way they explained why, in one of the interviews, the way they explained why we don't have like actual flowing rivers and waterfalls and so on is because of that mechanic is kind of missing in the game.
Right.
My fear is, because of the way this looks, is it looks like just a texture on the ground. So I'm worried that it might just be hot spots that you have to get over, or that you can walk across and burn a little bit, and not actual liquid that you step down into. It would be nice if it were that liquid, but I think it's just going to be a hot spot. That's my guess.
It's just a proof of concept.
Yeah.
It's early days.
But I mean, Jules, too, you can attest to this probably. The programming involved and the mechanics involved with having lava that is all over the place at higher level than sea level, right? Because right now the way the water table works is it's at the same level everywhere. So if this is a lava that you can step down into like water or tar, it's at different heights. It's all over the place. It seems complicated. Seems it'd be easier to just make it a hot spot on the ground. And
absolutely. I mean, and the water doesn't have any collision mechanics to it, right? It's just there at the level, and sometimes it comes above the ground from nowhere. So that's just a layer.
They already have the tar mechanics, so they can use that. Making
that's true, right?
But that's a location isolated to one spot because it's a specific location asset. This looks like it's like streaming all over the place. That's why I think it'll just be.
They have physically correct fluids. That's what.
If you look at the tar, if you make like a canal flowing it out, you can get the same look as that. So they can do multiple hotspots connecting each other to make that effect. So
I hope so. That's what I want. I would love to see. So
that's my prediction. Then that's it's tar pit like, so it's a lava pit, and you need to drain it to access the flametal. Because there's I don't imagine flametal being something that you mine out with a pickaxe like other metals. Because I think people are just tired of mining in this game. You have to mine for everything. So I think they're going to do something slightly different. And also flametal, it's metal that's like in flames. So for me, it makes sense to have it like to take it out of the lava.
So whatever, you need to fish it. Fish the flame.
Fish it with your fishing rod and your fishing hat.
You got to fish these little fiery fish in there. You got to catch it and then get the flame metal from their belly.
Or they make a coup a cube and you need to collect the liquid, and then we can collect water and use it for something.
That would be funny to fish out your metal with a with a fishing rod.
Well, so one of the other images that Grimcore released was this one here, which is showing, let's see, what does he say? Making a list of things for the environment today. Got some basic stuff already in, stuff that made it in so far. Burned logs, branches, rocks, and the resource, tree stumps, bushes. And so, yeah, we expected to see trees that look like they were burnt. And so here they are. And looks like we're going to get some smoldering and smoky effects coming from the ground and stuff.
Yet?
What's that? Morning?
Sorry, I hadn't seen this image yet. That looks so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't saw it?
No, I hadn't seen it.
Yeah.
Oh, this is one of the best.
Yeah, this is a really cool looking picture. It's just starting to give you a feel for what's coming, but also what they're doing with the environment. Because remember, the Mistlands, they added all that mist to really make the environment different. And this one looks like instead of just weather, also we're getting this smoke from the ground and fiery wisps and stuff from the hot spots, which make, fighting in that terrain dangerous too, because you're trying to run away. You probably have to run through the smoke and fire and take damage. And I see lots of fiery deaths.
I already have some predictions. I have some ideas and predictions of new items in the game now that we see a bit more. So I'm thinking sauna. We have a hot tub, but we don't have a sauna. And maybe the sauna is something that you build with some of the new mats that you get in the Ashlands.
Ooh.
Yeah. And there's the sauna. Saunas are a very Scandinavian thing as well. So it would fit the vibe. And the second thing, another very Scandinavian.
Bringing hot stones from the Ashlands for your sauna.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And then the second thing I predict, new food, which is I think it's smoked fish that you bury underground. It's an actual Scandinavian thing. I'm so sorry if anyone who's in Scandinavia listens to this and is like, what is she talking about? You know what I mean? I don't know what it's called, and I'm not sure how to make it, but I think it's like basically you literally put the fish inside the ground and let it ferment and kind of get smoked or something in ashes for a very long time or a couple of weeks. And it is an actual delicacy from maybe Norway or something. So I think, since we have so many new fish in the game, that would probably be a cool recipe to make. But you can maybe only make it in the Ashlands. You have to go to that soil and bury it in the Ashlands ground or something.
A lot of new interesting mechanics getting added. I would love to see, because they've got to make it some, different from the other biomes. So, there's going to be some interesting mechanics, I'm sure, that we haven't seen before. And maybe one of those. And if you need a gaming server, you should check out my sponsor, Gportal. You can save 10% with my link at jiroctheviking.com/Gportal. Let's see. So they also released some pictures of a fortress. And
oh, yeah.
So we've got a couple of these fortress designs. Take a peek at Fortress Concepts, our artist Robinier sketching out for the Ashlands. So got this one here. We've got this one here with this, what do you call it? Some kind of light streaming out of the top of the center building.
They're going a bit nether with it, huh?
Yeah.
Like Minecraft nether.
Yeah.
With the fortresses and stuff. And
exactly. Yeah. The nether fortresses. And then a circular version here. And this came out a few weeks ago, you might have seen already, but then they also released some build pieces for some arches and different things that are going to be coming with the buildings potentially here. And then they released this, which is the new stone texture that will be coming with some of the build pieces. And don't mind the Morgan up there, he says. Don't mind the Morgan. It's like our first look at it, though. Fully 3D rendered.
And look at the size compared to the Viking. Like it's
huge.
You get up to its knee bone.
Oh, it's massive, yeah.
Oh,
It's really disgusting. I
I
don't like it.
I can hear the disgust in your voice. That's funny.
Yeah,
But
it's like, tick was my threshold of grossness, and this is like tick times 3, and I don't like it.
Oh, it has teeth and its rib bones. Maybe it can open
Yeah.
it and follow you.
No.
Nice.
And grab you and eat you
Yes,
with
yes.
its chest.
Nom 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 nom.
But look at this stone texture. Like, we don't have a good stone floor texture piece. This is awesome looking. Whether we get, we don't know which of these build pieces we may or may not get, but
right.
even to see this there in those structures.
Yeah, that's really cool looking.
And then just
We got
recently,
mods.
what's that?
We got mods. We get all of them.
Oh yeah.
If we have pieces, we can
Well,
get
with
them.
mods, you get a lot. Yeah. And then he just recently released this picture, which is
gorgeous.
Actual. You see the stone texture floor, all the different stone arches, and look at the roof too on that. That is really cool looking. Of course, like this is like very cathedral kind of Gothic feeling. I know Bane on our server, who likes to build in the Gothic style, probably is going to love these pieces. But hopefully they let us build some of this stuff as well. I imagine we'll get access to some of it. But yeah. And then this doorway, I don't know if that's like if just an arch, or if that's meant to be a door there too that would go inside that. It looks like there would be a door that goes in the side there as well.
That might be the entrance of the dungeon when they got the white portal.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a dungeon entrance. And then let's see what else we got. Oh, so if we come back to the development blog, they showed us an image of the new Mistlands monster, and it's right here. The concept drawing, the bone
mob serpent.
Yeah.
Sorry, didn't mean to take that from you.
No, a new serpent. Yeah. And armored, with the bones here. I wonder if it's going to be as big as, the standard serpent in the game.
I think it's going to be bigger.
Least. Yeah, I think so too.
Probably bigger, huh?
And with those little glowy bits, it looks like it's like part anglerfish.
Like a deep sea serpent type thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That would question is if they introduce new fish type or mobs, they actually have to do another biome, because there's the one ocean biome where they can just spawn in the serpents and stuff. But if there will be new mobs, sorry, I'm not focused. There are new mobs around the Ashlands and the deep north, maybe. Yeah, we might get a new biome for the oceans too.
That would be awesome. Yeah, you could do a lot with the oceans. There's a lot of space out there.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so that's a cool looking serpent. It'll be interesting to see how that looks when it finally, gets 3D rendered and made into, the low polygon and pixel art style that they have. But these Photoshop drawings always have a little more detail.
That serpent doesn't fit the aesthetic they are using for Ashlands right now.
Yeah, I agree. It stands out. I wonder if it's just going to be another ocean mob.
Oh, why? It has the big brown and a bit red and the glowy stuff. Oh,
it doesn't look like something that lives in lava, does it?
It says no water is around the Ashlands.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
It says
or maybe it does need to be white because it needs to stick out, because everything in the Ashlands is so dark that if you want to be able to even see it, it would need to be lighter. And that's also why the Morgan is it's got some, like, the bones and the skeletons are white elements to it. The chard is going to be really interesting how they make the chard, because they're like literally the same color as the ground. They're like black, dark gray, and red. So I wonder if they're going to add some like glowing effect or something to make it stick out a bit from the environment.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, so the bone moss serpent's a fun new. I'm just excited to get more for the water and the ocean. Like when they added all the new fish with the Mistlands update, that was awesome because it's some more content for the ocean and the waters.
Done any of the fishing yet, Jiroc? Have you found the drops that the fish give?
No, I have not. I've been so busy with Valheim, but I've already bought my fishing pole and a bunch of bait, and I'm getting ready here soon to go fishing.
It's so fun.
I have to say, I don't like the new fishing mechanic.
Oh, what part don't you like?
There's too many fishes.
No,
too many specific bait. Is like I can't pay attention to that.
Well, they at least made it a little bit easier because you don't need the previous biome fish to catch the next fish. You just need the appropriate trophy and bait.
The trophy and the specific bait is my problem. The specific bait, especially, I need to remember which bait is for each fish.
Yeah, it's a little bit of it's making your brain wheels turn more.
It's a mini game.
It is a mini game.
Yeah, but the mini game could be better too. So that's my 2 cents. So.
In all honesty,
the description could say which biome it is, because I don't want to check each time what trophy I need to make which bait to know which biome it goes for.
You know what? There's probably going to be a great video that you can watch. It'll be really short and it'll tell you which bait you need for each fish, just to make it super simple so you don't have to remember. And I'll put that on my channel here soon. You want to catch this fish in this biome? You need this trophy. This one, you need this. There you go, Digivaste.
Really, all the one that matters is catching the anglerfish and the pufferfish.
That's a great idea, Vaste. Thank you. You're right. It's going to be hard to remember. So somebody needs to make a really good and quick video for reference.
I'm not going to watch it each time I'm going to fish because I'm not going to fish. So sorry.
Well, Jiroc, I have another video suggestion for you.
Yeah.
You know the list of base items of all the things that prevent spawns? I don't know if anyone has done one for the updated Mistlands items.
Yep.
Yes, I had. It's a pain point of mine. Mm-hmm. Now that I'm trying to build a new build with all the new updates, and I would very much like a video about that. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
I haven't tested the Mistlands pieces yet, but I went. If you watch my previous video, I painstakingly go through every single item to see which one blocks spawn. But yeah. And after having done that, I kind of have a good idea which one pieces in the Mistlands from the Mistlands update will and won't block spawn. But yeah, that's definitely a video on my to-do list. It's there. So we had that bone maw serpent, and then they announced that there's going to be different difficulty modes for the game coming.
Oh yeah, true.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which is really cool because it's something that came up quite often. So it's great that they added like the no map one a couple of patches ago, where you can play no map, and now they have a bunch of different difficulty modes. And I know the casual mode, which is sorry, not the casual mode, but kind of a creative mode. Oh no, they don't have that. But I know, like in Minecraft, there's the mode where it's just for building.
Yeah, they should get that. I wanted to say that because they talk about easy, hard, casual, where you just don't lose gear. But yeah, give the creative builders some attention, right?
Yeah.
Creative mode, no spawns, no mobs, no night
access
spawns.
To more build pieces.
Oh, that absolutely.
Well, yeah, what they need for that is to just license the Ire's Infinity Hammer, and then there you go.
There you go.
Have everything they need for the creative mode option in the game.
Easy.
But also stopping the mobs from spawning would be useful in a creative mode.
Yeah, you don't want the mobs running around and constantly having to kill them and clear their trash that they drop. Yeah.
It's tedious. Geez, building is at night especially.
It's fun when you're actually playing. Yeah,
I do actually play now, Jiroc.
I know, but
tedious.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love. I'm only in Black Forest, bronze gear, and I'm being chased by Fuelings and Seekers and ticks. And the ticks jump on your animal and just kill it almost instantly. You know, you got to carry a hammer around to squash them.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just want to build it, right?
Well, yeah, you got to put a lot of anti-spawn stuff and
leave the Vikings alone. Dear mods.
Just leave us Vikings alone to build.
Leave her alone.
So yeah, hard mode. So basically there'll be 4 game modes, and it's supposed to come with the new Hilder's Quest update. So we have the normal mode. We'll have a hard mode, which I'm assuming that's going to be like more health and more damage from the mobs. An easy mode, which I'm guessing is going to be less health and less damage from the mobs. And then casual mode, which is probably like an easy mode, but you also don't drop any gear. So if you're out and you die, it's not that big a deal, except you still have to get all the way back out to where you were if you want to do something out there. But now you don't have to go all the way back to get your gear. And I suspect people are going to use that like they use it in a lot of other games. When you're ready to go home, you just die and you get teleported back.
Yeah, it'll be interesting how that works with different people on a multiplayer server with different modes. Like, do they log in with their own mode that they want to play with, or is the mode set on the server itself?
They say it's a server setting.
Yeah, they say it's a server setting, so hopefully it gets. Yeah, we don't want the players to be playing on their own mode.
It's going to be like no map. It's going to be a setting for the whole server, and anyone logging in will have that as a default. But that's cool because it allows for different, again, for multiplayer experiences. A lot of people are making their own hard modes using mods. Now you can actually play vanilla hard mode.
Yeah.
Or easy mode.
And one of the things they didn't mention was skill loss, but I imagine like hard mode, you might lose more skill. Easy mode, you might lose less. And casual mode, since you don't lose your gear, it would make sense that you also don't lose skill points.
Interesting.
So we'll see what they do with that. And then Hilder will be a new NPC, they mention in here. And here's the new picture they released. This is Hilder's location. They actually ask, what do they say? A small glimpse of a place where you'll be able to find her. And does anybody see a hint as to where this is? You can see it in the background.
Meadows. So it looks like meadows.
Definitely looks like meadows. Yep, those are meadows trees. Yeah.
Is that clothing hanging in the background, Gwen? Are those some of the colors they're going to be giving us?
And I would say the front, it looks like it's a map, which makes me think this is maybe not the location, but maybe it's a map that you need, a bit like the cartography table that you need to touch to find several maybe locations or shops where you can go and source different items. I don't know.
See, that looks like just a table with like a cloth on it, and that looks like that might be Hilder.
I think that's her sitting there
on the side.
It's a map. I am 100% sure. You know what? Because if you save that image, the default name of the image is map. They didn't change the name, so it is a map.
Interesting.
Yes, because I was going to do a video about that, and I went to download the image, and then the default name was something Hilder map or something like that. So I was like, oh well, that confirms what this is. I mean, it might not work as a map. It might just be a name, like just an item, but it reminds me a lot of the cartography table. You know, the fact that it's got like the little ink. It's got like the icon to show the cart that I imagine is Hilder's cart. So maybe she's a mobile. I'm thinking maybe it's like a bit like Haldor, where you have to find Haldor. And maybe she's like a mobile thing where like every time you log on, maybe a different location.
Yeah,
and you
but
need to go and find her.
If you see the left side of the image, that's the shoulder of a bike.
Right?
I don't think it's a shoulder, is it?
Yeah, that looks like a shoulder and a head.
It is a map, but I think that map is just decoration. It's not actually a map to look for her.
Or it might be a map to other quest locations.
Yeah, it's called Hilda's Quest, so she might.
Yeah, exactly. There has to be a quest element to it. Otherwise, what's the point of calling it Hilda's Quest?
Yeah.
See, Jiroc is showing the side of the face.
The map
I
is just
didn't know.
decoration. I wouldn't give it that much thought to that map table because it looks a lot like decoration, not something interactive.
It's the map gives you something to do with the quest. It can't be as easy as, oh, it's Haldor, you find it once, and then you can go infinite. You place a portal there, and you go every time to buy all these new clothing items. I'm sure there's stuff that you need to collect to either trade or.
Oh no, fetch quests! Please don't.
Fetch quests.
It's no fetch quests.
I'm into it. I want it.
Well, so what I think
is she's going to be moving. That's too many mechanics the game doesn't have.
So maybe she sends you moving around.
Yeah, you're the one who's moving.
Why you're
doing all the work.
Fetch quests.
What I think is cool is they're showing here the clothes hanging in the background, and these are like more muted colors, and then these are bright colors. So that's interesting. It looks like there might be a wide variety of clothing color types. Right?
And if you watched my video, you would know that some of these richer colors would have been historically more expensive to source and dye. Therefore, I think they will be in the clothing and all the outfits and accessories, all the jewelry that you buy. I think there will be a bit of a tiering system or a hierarchy from cheapest to most expensive item. And that might be part of the quest is you need to go and find really rare ingredients, or you need to pay a lot of money, coins, to access some of the fancier jewelry or fancier clothing.
Well,
is what I would love to see.
We've talked about clothing, and we've talked about map tables, and we've talked about Hilder moving or not moving and fetch quests, but we haven't talked about this cool little toy wagon that I want to put on my shelf.
And this is why I thought that Hilder might be moving, because there's that icon, but also at the top right, there's a giant wheel.
Yeah.
Which might be a cart wheel. And that's why I thought maybe a bit like Haldor, maybe she's a traveling merchant.
Haldor is not moving.
I know. He should be, though. It would be fun.
He stands up and sits down and goes,
yeah.
Yeah. So
the wheel in the background, fun thing, and the thing that almost prompted me to make a whole video about it. And then I realized, oh no, I'm completely wrong here. I saw the wheel and it looks way too big to be an actual vehicle.
Oh.
And it looks like it's almost stone made, or like a really big, thick wooden wheel. And initially it made me think of wool, of mills and some of the mechanics that are used to in wool mills. And I went on a whole tangent and trip researching wool mills in medieval age to try to find like visual representation and figure out if it could be that. And then I realized no, because those wool mills the wheel would be in the water. That's how they would power the mill. And then I was like, oh fuck, yeah, no, that doesn't work.
I think that wagon is going to be a giant, full-size version of the little wagon on the table.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
I guess too, yeah.
But why would you have a wagon if it's just going to sit there in what looks like a building? This is like flooring.
Haldor has one that is moving.
Yeah, and he has locks too.
But he doesn't have a roof. He's placed there, but he's a moving merchant. The whole setup here with the table, this looks like even the ground, and it kind of with the lighting, it looks like it's got a roof. This looks to me like a building. It's the inside of I don't know, something with a roof. And if that's the case, well, why would you?
Might be a tent.
A tent. I'm seeing a tent.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's like
the poles, and like the poles in the background are holding up clothing, and like it's just enough enclosed that you can see the fire reflecting. But yeah, no, I would see this as a tent.
Yeah, it's like a little house on wheels, But yeah, so we'll see. I didn't know there'd be so much drama on today's show.
I knew it. I didn't tell you. I was so looking forward to picking apart this picture with Gwen.
Yes.
We skip a week and everybody comes with all the ferocity that they get out last week.
Yeah, I'm mostly annoyed at myself because I was so certain about that wool mill. I thought I was smarter than everyone, where everyone would be like, "Oh yeah, it's just a vehicle, it's just a car." I was like, "No, I'll have you know, there's wool making in the medieval," and then it was like not at all that. And so I was like, "Damn, that would have been cool if it was that," but it
would have been.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this picture here too that they released is just showing again that we're going to get our hair with while we can see our hair while we're wearing our helmets, and it's going to be attached to Hilder's quest somehow. So they're not really, they're leaving that part a secret, but yeah. And I imagine Hilder's quest is going to be the next big update that we get because they keep talking about it.
I thought the Hilder's quest was so you could change your hairstyle, not that you could have your hairstyle under the hat.
Yeah, no, I think the hat thing is just a patch, a technical patch. But yeah, changing your hair will be part of
no, and I'm not saying Hilder's quest allows you to show your hair, but that technical part of it is coming with with the Hilder's quest patch. But then her quest should be involved changing hairstyles and beards and stuff like that.
Maybe the map is to find the barber, your local barber, to go and get the hair changed.
Yeah.
Find my comb for me. I don't know how to make
and then I can give you a trim.
Fetch quests. I love it. So that's the big blog update that they did. And then Jonathan had a couple of interesting posts. And this one here, skip intro.
Amazing.
Let me play this video for you. So here's the intro.
What news.
Yay! You can skip the intro instead of having to sit there and read through it the whole time. And it'll just be a setting at the top of the menu there, right?
I mean, I love the intro, but I've watched it enough times now.
Well, what people have to do now is, as soon as it starts, you load in and it loads this screen, they just log off and then log back in, and then it skips it. So it saves you a few seconds. Because I've tried it, just letting it play, and then you have to do the fly in too, right?
Yeah.
But if you log out and log back in, you just appear on the Vigvisir stone. So this will be a nice option.
That was literally the first thing we did with the Yoto mod library. To just skip that part, you can set one Boolean in the code. Because you make so many new characters, it was tedious.
Yeah.
We worked like 5 times, then nope. First thing, just cut it.
Yeah, it's very tedious. But then let's see. He also released, this is awesome for builders. And we've had to come up with so many tricks for this. Watch this. Think. Snapping points with the pieces. New snapping points.
Now we get to the juice. Oh, this is so much needed.
So going through this quickly, like this has always been a problem. You have to place if you have a pole, you have to place a beam then to place a floor on it properly snapped. But now, and he's showing that here, like it doesn't want to snap properly to the beam or to the pole. And he's got, it's manual 4 of 4. So I guess there's 4 different snapping points type things you can set.
You can cycle through them.
And you can rotate really nice on a snapping point. Look at that. That's awesome.
The accessibility of this is going to be huge for people who struggle for different reasons. I'm so excited. This is very, for me, this is very clearly they're striving to make things more accessible for the community. And I am so pleased to see it.
Yeah. Like, so in this image here, they're showing, you place a pole on top of something, it's easy. But if you want to place it under, you got to get a vantage point underneath and see underneath it. So sometimes people sit because you get a little extra, low, or you got to go into the water and or a low point. But nope, now you can just tell the snap to connect underneath instead of on top. That's awesome.
Yeah, sitting in the water is always an interesting one in itself too, because it allows you to get a little bit lower than normal. And the water, as it like moves, you sort of stay on the ground. So like the water will sometimes go over your head when you're sitting.
Yeah. So it looks like if you see here, it says snapping auto, which would probably be the default snapping, but then you can switch it to the manual. And in this case, for this build piece, it has 2, right? So it goes up or down.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's that point made easy finally in the game.
Yeah.
It's lovely to see that because for those who don't know, there's a mod that does kind of that.
Yeah.
We always recommend it for plan build users to just use it and maintain it by now. But yeah, it's good. They see stuff like this made. I don't know if they saw this, but
well, yeah, I mean, they get ideas from the community as well. But this actual part of the video where the floor snaps to the end of the floor without having to see the side of the floor.
Yeah.
Normally we have to place another piece on top and then you kind of extend it out and it snaps in, or you have to come around and see the very edge of the board in front of it, which was my very first video from my very first Valheim. I was showing how to place over, your left shoulder versus your right to snap on. But with this, it makes it obsolete. They made my very first video obsolete with this because now it'll just snap there because it knows that you want to place it at the end of another floor piece. So that's pretty awesome. Valheim's building is already one of the best building systems of the games that I've played anyways. And these additional tools for building will be very nice. And then let's see. Then just recently, was that today, I think, he released this. Let's watch this.
Yes.
Andy's dancing. So let me explain this to the people who are listening or it's going by too fast. So we'll stop it. So the video goes, and in the upper right-hand corner of the chest or whatever container you're looking in, it says stack all. And he has wood and fine wood in his inventory, wood and fine wood in the chest. And when you click stack all, it pulls whatever's in your inventory to the stacks that matches the stacks in the chest. Instead of having to go one piece there, one piece there, one piece there, go to the next chest, one piece there. Oh, wait, I forgot the piece that goes in the chest I was already in. One piece there, one piece there. Like,
amazing.
Who cares about content? Just give us more quality of life improvements.
It is really important. Yeah. I find
it is definitely a nice feature.
You guys probably do the same, but I find I spend half my time just organizing my inventory and unloading into chests. And then half the time I'm out having fun, then half the time I'm back sorting again. And it's such a pain. I'd rather be out more time adventuring. But then the other option here is you just target a chest, then you hold shift and you click your use button, E or whatever you've bound it to. And without even opening up your inventory or the container, it just drops it in there. So
I didn't see that.
So you could literally just hold shift and run around and go E, clicking on each box. You never have to open anything.
So that's great. And the last thing missing is the icon of the item you're storing in that chest on that chest. Then we got
Wait, well, there's a mod
that's what
like
item stands are for, right? That's how you get the icon.
No, no. Okay, yeah, more quality of life.
Well, yeah,
I'd be into it.
That's kind of breaking immersion, though, to have the chest like a little television screen on it that pops up the icon of the item that you put in it. But yeah, you can like if you have one chest that's always the same thing, and you don't want a sign that says rocks or stone or whatever. You can put an item stand and put a stone on it. I mean, assuming, it's a piece that will go on an item stand.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. Okay, we can do that.
Yeah,
but automatically, right? If there's only stone in that chest, just plop, make a stone on an item stand.
The way I have my storage, this will be so perfect.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like every single day, I'm just half my time is sorting inventory. This would solve all that.
Yeah.
And rewrite signs, right? You're rewriting the signs because you're changing the storage, and then no.
What were you going to say, Gwen?
I like the fact that you don't need to open the chests now, because for anyone who either plays and builds with very high instances, or who play with PCs like mine, or who play on multi-player servers, sometimes chests just don't open. And you have to wait for the whole area to load in, or for people to move away, or stuff like that, to be able to even access the chests. So I'm glad that now you have an option where you can easily like just jump in, drop all the stuff, and not need to wait for each chest to open. Like the worst thing is when you have to, you don't remember which chest you've put stuff in. So you
don't
have
label
to open
things.
and then you have to open 10 different chests to find the chest that has the items that you want to put in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but technically speaking, that might be a bit hard, because it just doesn't open because the chest in your local instance doesn't know what's in it.
Yeah,
right? It has to.
Yeah, that might be interesting.
Yeah,
so
that might be a challenge that they face.
Yeah. Most of the time, if it won't open, you won't be able to just stack all, because it doesn't know what's in the chest before.
Yeah.
With high lag or high instances, sometimes happen that it opens your inventory, but the chest or card doesn't load. And if you drop things like the control click, all of them will disappear.
Yeah.
That's a known issue. Now, what happened with this one when you see the chest but it's not actually loaded inside and you press the Shift E?
Yeah, the same actually, because it doesn't know what's in there, and you're not the owner of the ZTO.
It probably just won't transfer the items out of your inventory at the time.
Hopefully,
maybe that'll be an interesting bug for them to test with, if that's their goal.
Or it'll shoot the items off into the Nether, and you'll never see them again.
Yes, dumping items finally made easy.
Yeah.
Wait, and that is, two people place Shift E at the same time to the chest?
Well, it'll only pull from your inventory what's already in there. So
yeah, but most of the time the chest is locked and only one person can open when there's multiple people.
Mm-hmm.
But now we are talking that it doesn't lock. You can do it from the outside without actually opening it.
Well, yeah, I hope if, like, say Gwen is a chest open and she's looking at the stuff in there, I could just run by and Shift E on it and still drop stuff in there while she's in there looking at it. That would be a nice feature, but I don't know.
There is a mod for that. my friend Magmas made that, who codes Jotun with me, and he made multi-user chests, and he tackled that problem, so it's doable.
Mm-hmm.
Can actually have multi-user chests.
Yeah. Well, yeah. All things in time.
I might pitch that to Iron Gate, to Jonathan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at that. Copy.
And then let's see. One of the last things that they released was let's see. Oh, Xbox released March 14th.
Yes.
So
amazing. Like 3 weeks away.
Yeah. It's actually for content creators. We're going to get a flood of new players. So going back to the meadows and starting, new tutorials for the Xbox players, you might get some views. So I've started a list.
Nice.
But here's what that looks like. The Xbox has a little bit of. You'll notice a couple of things different. But I did speak to Smithy, and I'll reveal that here in a second. So they show the opening with the Valkyrie flying you in, and you're hitting a tree. And right here, you can see what's different. See the menus that are open? It's highlighted in yellow because you're using a controller to switch in between the different menus. And here you go. You're scrolling with the pad on the controller. Through
you never used the controller on the PC, right?
No, I've never used one out of PC.
What I'm getting out of this.
Yeah,
because
I've used it on Xbox in other games in the past, but I don't play them regularly. But Yeah, you have to use the controller to switch between menus and everything. But so what I did is I asked Smithy, is the Xbox release going to be exactly the same in all other aspects of the game? You know, play styles, combat, building, just interactivity with things, or were there other little things that they had to tweak? Because we've seen that in games that are for a console versus for the PC, there will be some things that are slightly tweaked and different. But he said, nope, it should be exactly the same as standard Valheim. They don't have any slightly different version, except for the way that the controller interacts. So
sure. And I know a lot of people have tried using the controller with the computer as well.
Yeah.
And it's actually the same. When you use the controller on the PC, it's like Valheim behaves. But
because they released that before Christmas, because they had the crossplay kind of ready way before then, and they had the controller.
Well, they have the Steam Deck too, support. Right? Which is a controller basically itself.
Yeah.
So good to know that, because when I was going to make tutorial videos, I just wanted to know if there were going to be any things different, and if I say something in a tutorial, I don't want it to be different if it's not correct for Xbox, right? I don't want to have to research why it's different for Xbox versus PC. And we have vanilla servers, so Xbox, I don't know if you're going to be able to run mods. You know, you can come and play on our vanilla servers if you are playing on Xbox.
Well, but this also means that most likely the crossplay nightmare is over.
Yeah, hopefully. Yep, hopefully. So, well, that's a lot of updates. I'm sure there might have been a few things that we missed, but that was most of them anyways, the ones I could remember and the ones I could find before the recording here today. So lots of stuff. I like it filled up the whole episode already.
Yeah. No trivia. No time.
Yeah, so much. But before we close out, let's find out what Gwen is wearing today on her head.
So, funnily enough, I thought it was something, and then it's not. So I was handed this hat, which is a vintage French sailor's hat, I thought my dad had given it to me saying it was my granddad's. But then it got me thinking, because I was like, wait, my granddad fought Second World War, but this is not a hat from then, because he fought Second World War on the German side, because where my family is located on the French side, that part of France was annexed by Germany before the war. So when he was 17 years old, he was basically enrolled in the German army. And this hat is definitely French, because it says made in France. And it has like a French text in the label. So I was like, hold on, that can't be the hat that he used for World War II. So now I'm like texting back and forth with my dad, trying to figure out what the heck this hat is and whose it is. But it is definitely a vintage sailor's hat, French sailor's hat. And it looks pretty cool.
It does look cool. I want one now. I'm gonna have to go to eBay and look up something like that.
Yeah. It's I'll show it a bit close by, but it's definitely quite vintage, but I don't think it's from the 40s. I think it's more like 60s, 70s, maybe, based on the label that you might be able to see. But it says here made in I don't know if you can see, but it says made in France. And then here it says matelot, which is French word for sailor. So it's definitely an actual French Navy hat. But I am not sure from when and from who. So now I'm like, okay, it was passed down in the family, but it might be from, I don't know, someone else, maybe my uncle or something like that. So yeah, this is my hat for the day.
Very cool.
Yeah.
How about your hat, Jiroc?
So, as I mentioned in the past, I have lots of ball caps, and this one, let's see, I'll show it here to you. So I know it's a little blurry, but that is Cars logos there.
Cars, the Pixar movie.
The Pixar movie, yeah. I wasn't the biggest fan of the first movie, but the subsequent movies I kind of did like a little bit more, and but a fan overall. And so when I went to Disneyland last year, like I was like, I'm going to get one hat while on this trip. And this was the one I saw, and it was the one I had to get because it's fun. I like, it's got a lot of color. It's got this, it looks like a metal, a patch on here, but it's, it's just plastic, but it's got that silver look, and yeah.
Cute.
That's my Disneyland hat instead of, the traditional Mickey Mouse ears hat. I wanted something a little different for my Disney hat, and that's what I found. So
nice.
Well, cool. I think we've come to the end of the podcast for this week, and we won't see each other for 2 whole weeks on the podcast.
All right. So what do you want to see for next podcast, Jiroc? Like anything exciting, or like maybe not Valheim news, maybe something that we've done in game or whatever. What would you like to see? What would you like to hear?
Oh, well, I love to hear really good stories of playing with other people. Like if and if you like have a clip and you give me like the timeline of the clip, if you've posted a video or a stream somewhere, then we could like maybe play just that little clip. But that's it, like you were saying before, if I record my playthroughs and I don't stream them, and then I just pull clips that are fun. Yeah. Like that's what I love seeing, especially in the early days of Valheim. That's what people posted a lot, just little clips, or they would like put a whole bunch of clips together of fun moments. So those are some of the best things to see, because you can never recreate that moment. It's like authentic. It happened in the moment, that great thing of something somebody said or their reaction. Like a couple of times, like when Gwen dies or something happens and her face just goes.
A couple of times,
but like
5 times every time I stream.
Gwen, we need a compilation video of just Gwen death clips.
Yeah, and Gwen death reactions. That's the great thing about recording yourself while playing, is you get this great reaction shot that you didn't plan, and it's completely natural. So seeing that, and I would pay extra money to see Jules doing it in his jester outfit.
Oh, yes.
Playing Valheim in his jester outfit and then going, I just died.
No,
damn you, serpent.
Oh,
whatever.
Amazing.
How much money are we talking about?
I've got dozens and dozens of pennies to send you.
That's sweet YouTube money.
Sweet YouTube money, yes. But yeah, so fun clips are always awesome because you just can't recreate it. And it's hard to explain. You can explain it, but it's not the same as seeing it.
It's not the same.
So that would be my favorite thing. But
all right.
Yeah. So I think that's going to do it for us this week. Thanks for joining me, everybody.
Thanks for having us.
Yay! It's
week.
I'll miss you.
Yes, me too.
So that's it for now. Have fun out there.